Okay, so that's a pretty broken screen. And the laptop is an HP 15G070, and our laptop, or if you're a little weird like me, that's a Hewlett-Packard 15-Golf 070 November Romeo. This video was requested by laptopscreen.com, and other product placement in here will include HP, because it is an HP laptop, and if everything goes well, you'll understand why Mega Tokyo is involved. So, when your laptop is in this condition, you might be able to find out if it is still booting up and Windows is still running, if you get a good power light and a flashing hard drive light on the side. And if it does, you might be able to press, first plug in an HDMI cable and run it to an external screen. And you can see I've done that. If you press function F4, you might be able to get it to switch the inputs to this screen. Or Windows and P in Windows, if it boots into Windows, it's just stuck in the boot screens or BIOS area, should probably do the same thing. And in this case, I'm setting it to projector only, so it assumes the HDMI cable leads to a projector or some temporary display, and in that case, setting it to projector only runs the external display and turns this one off. So you could use this procedure I'm going to do to take out the internal display and only use the external until your replacement internal screen arrives. So, as Windows is running and the computer has started up, I'm going to use its real controls here to get it shut down. And then the computer can shut down. And as it's doing that, I'm going to take out the HDMI cable. And before you actually do any deconstruction to the laptop, first steps are to take away all of its sources of power. So the power cable, and its battery. For this model, there are two clips. This one is a lock, so set to the center. The other one is a spring-loaded clip. So with them both to the center, you should be able to pull the battery away. And I'm going to use the battery to pull down the power cable. So some other things that are helpful for this procedure. A screen protector, if not for your dead screen, then for the good screen you'll be replacing it with. A small screwdriver with a Phillips tip. A knife to handle packaging later. A screen wiper too. Really don't need the HDMI cable anymore. And some plastic cards. Could use expired driver's license or duplicate ID or credit card or something that's invalid. I would not use anything that's reloadable that you actually intend to use again. And the point of this is that they should not scratch surfaces, or at least they don't scratch surfaces as easily as metal. So while you could use a flat tip screwdriver like the one on the other side of my Phillips head on this screwdriver, that is likely to scratch your plastic. Even if you don't care about the bad screen anymore, probably would scratch the bezel, and if you're doing other things with it, you could short something that you don't see. So, for reference, I'm going to tag this as the dead screen, which might be helpful if your replacement screen is identical and you might get confused by that. If you put them both on the same table and walk away for a bit or something of that nature. So, with the power sources disconnected, the next step on this is to remove the screen's bezel or the edge protector. And to do this, just get under the side of the screen, or under the side of the screen cover with fingernails or the card, and pull straight toward you gently. And without too much effort, the bezel cover should come off. So, a couple things to note about this. On the edge of the bezel cover, there's a curve where it comes over the screen hinge. So that should disconnect, but keep in mind it curves forward or towards the user side of the laptop. So you might have to open the screen further and gently give that a wiggle to let it come around the hinge. But after you have undone all the hidden plastic clips, this should lift free without any issues. And another note is, in its normal position on the left, bottom left right about here, on the other side of the plastic here, there is a magnet used to turn off the screen as the lid closes. And that means that you probably shouldn't leave a credit card or anything else that is sensitive to magnets leaning up against your screen in that area. And when you put this bezel down as you change the screen, don't put it near anything that cares about magnets. Okay, next steps. The actual LCD is held in by 4 screws, and they are on the inner tabs towards the basically the tabs towards the center, horizontally on the top and bottom edges of this cover. And I will show them before I unscrew them. So here, this tab is the LCD. This tab is part of the side support for the laptop lid. So if you unscrew the screws on the side frames, you'll drop the cover and the LCD together. And if you do that, well, you don't expect it, that could be bad. But if you are trying to replace the cover and you've already taken care of the Wi-Fi antenna that's running behind here, that might be of use to you. But again, for what we're doing, just changing the LCD, only unscrew the inner screws on the inner set of tabs. And there are only 4 screws. The other screw hole here is actually filled with plastic that protrudes from the LCD, the cover and the back panel. So it's used for alignment, but it's not actually a screw. And before I go on, I'll show the others of those. So on that corner, this is the screw to remove. This is the support frame. And in this corner, this is the screw to remove. These 3 screws down here are for the support frame. And likewise for this corner, this is the screw that matters, and the other screws along the bottom are for the support frame. So you take these screws out, put them somewhere safe. I put mine behind this laptop in the same pattern as I removed them. And I do that for other projects as well, in case, or in certain cases, the screws aren't the same. So in some cases it might matter where you took them from. In this case, all 4 of these screws are the same. So with the screws out, gently fold the LCD down and forward onto the screen protector. The reason for that is there is a single cable on this model that feeds the screen power data, and I don't know if backlight is considered separate for this model, but it's all in one cable.
So
let me redo that drop. So the cable, you can see, comes out of this bottom left hinge and connects right about there, and the connector is on the back. So gently bring the screen down. And on the back there is a flat kind of ribbon-like connector with a plastic supporting glue tab on it. So from the side towards the front of the laptop, start lifting the glue tab, pull it up gently, and it will start on the metal, and it goes over this black protective layer, and it lifts clear. At that point, don't lift up anymore. Pull the cable from the back side of the laptop towards the back, and it should disconnect, and the screen can then be removed without any more connections. Now for the good screen, again, this one is from laptopscreen.com, and this one comes with electrostatic discharge sheet on it, sort of foam. On the old screen, the connector was a straight back. On the laptop screen one, the connector has a curve to it. And I did successfully do this before, but the camcorder had a problem, so do this again. So in the earlier run, this curve did not present a problem, but it was a little different connecting the cord. So I put that down. So I have the flat connector. I'm pulling the plastic glue tab back to give me better visibility. And very gently insert the connector into the new screen. It shouldn't take much force. If it does seem to take a lot of force, the alignment is probably off, so try gently wiggling the connector up and down, or the cable end up and down. That's in, so I'm going to grab the camcorder and give that a close-up. Come on, out of focus. There we go. The glue tab is up, and the connector from the laptop screen is the close one, and the cable part is the distance, and when it's properly done, you can barely see any crack or difference between them. So then pull the glue tab towards you, towards the front of the laptop. Pull that down, and because mine has been opened so many times in troubleshooting and trying to film this replacement, I'm going to add another strip of tape across that. Okay, so the connector is taped on, and now I'm going to gently lift the screen back up to where the mounting brackets will line up with the screw holes. Being careful not to put too much strain on the cable. And then hold that in position and put one of the screws back in. I start with the top screws. Somewhat as if you were to hang a picture, and it takes the tension off of a cable on the bottom, and it wouldn't put as much twisting force on the screen as if you started with the bottom screw. Okay. Got the cover off. Take out some dust I seem to have dropped in there. And okay. So this stage, the screen is secured. The bezel is not on, but as the only thing the laptop knows to check for about the bezel is the magnet, I can do a test run at this point. So I will put the power cord in, plugging the battery out, because the battery has to go past the screen. And start up the black screen with a little note about pressing keys for options to go into BIOS. It says start Windows normally because I had to hold the power on when it shut down. And it says starting Windows with a fully clear readable screen. That's good. So even if you don't like Windows 7, that's a good sign in my case. Might also be of interest to note this laptop likes to come with Windows 8. So, we put the bezel over the top and gently press in on the edges after lining it up. And then press straight through the sides, and you might need to put some pressure in from behind the screen. To secure the bezel. So, that looks about right. Take a clean cloth across the webcam again. Pull the screen down. Insert the battery. Pull the screen back up. And I got a blue screen. But the screen is replaced, and I may have some driver work to do. So, there's Windows 7. So, Windows has started up again, even with a blue screen of death. The laptop LCD screen has been successfully replaced. And that concludes today's lesson in Awesome, with thanks to laptopscreen.com. and credits to megatokyo.com and HB. And apologies to Largo for the lack of explosions and having to wear clothes in this presentation.